Welcome to Outlaw Woodworking. You know, one of the things that is always fun is to not only build stuff, but to also try to improve the way you project your videos to the outside world. And the fun part for me is learning. And like today I built this radius camera slide, and I just used a piece of 3/4 MDF because it was smooth, and some Pex piping, and built this slide to try to improve my videos. And the idea is that I can give, you know, I'm going to try to give, when I'm making something or I'm on the jigs, the bandsaw or the table saw, you know, I want to give a different perspective. So something kind of like moving, and I tried it on a few videos earlier. You can go check those out. And the slide, this little motorized thing went right off the table, and it didn't always go straight. Like, it was hard to get it to go exactly where you wanted it to. So I decided to build this what do you call it? Camera slide, a radius camera slide, and I'll probably do a straight one too. But I thought, you know, it would be nice to do a radius one first, just to see how it works and make sure that the motorized thing works okay. So this is my first run with it. So we'll see how this video turns out with the GoPro. Anyway, let me show you how I made it. And it was really easy. And then, you know, if you're making YouTube videos and you're trying to improve and you don't want to spend, although I have seen some for like around $350, which were pretty nice actually. There's one made by GVM, and I considered buying that actually, but the truth is the next big thing I want to buy is a drill press, and so that's going to have to wait. So I built this, and we'll see if that improves my videos. I know my videos aren't that great, but I'm always trying to improve them, and hopefully this will make a difference. Anyway, it was really easy to build. Let me show you how I built it. And yeah, let's get started. The first thing I do is mark out the center of the MDF board and then get a string and create the arch. And this is an easy way to make a nice half circle. So I make a half circle, and then I get the little motorized dolly that I have, and I measure to see how wide this circle needs to be. And then I basically make a mark, and it's about 6 inches, and I make another radius. Now I just jigsaw this whole thing out, and yeah, just keep it as straight as possible so it looks good, and jigsaw this MDF out. This was a scrap piece of MDF that I had, and it had some holes in it, but thankfully the arch missed all those holes, so they won't be in the way. This is a little bit of a drastic radius for a camera slide. Had I did to do it over again, I might have done a little less of a, like, not quite a circle. But it is going to be interesting to see how it works. So, and I have tried it out already, and it did work really well. So we'll have to just see. So there's the half circle, and basically I'm going to make it so this little dolly travels on it. The next day I get the Pex pipe, and I calculate that I'm going to have to make this smaller because the Pex pipe's only 5 feet long, and it doesn't quite make that whole radius. So I basically chop off part of it, and then I chop 2 6-inch pieces for the ends, and that's what these are right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the Pex pipe. The outside diameter is 5/8, and so I measure the little motorized dolly to see where the tracks are, and then I figure out the center that the pipes need to be, and I mark them. And then drill holes in these two outside pieces, and they're 5/8 diameter. I then shorten up the track, so the half circle I had to shorten it a little bit so that the PEX pipe would reach. And I basically wanted to make them kind of easy to handle, so I radiused the two ends on the bandsaw. Once I got those cut out, I took them over and I used my handheld router and I smoothed over both the outside edges of them. I then mounted the two end pieces. I pilot drilled them and then glued them and mounted them on the ends. And I used the pipe as a reference as far as I wanted the pipe to sit flat on the MDF. So I basically held the pipe down and then drilled it and glued it on the ends. Once I got these drilled and glued and screwed, I then could start laying out the pipe. And what I did is I made a spacer, and I basically started at one end, and I used hot glue, and I glued the pipe down to the MDF with hot glue, and then I used a spacer to keep it perfectly spaced as I went along. So each time I hot glued it, I would move the spacer another 6 inches and then hot glue it some more. And this held actually really well. I was surprised how good the hot glue worked. So I just kept moving it along and hot gluing both sides of the pipe to the piece of wood and moving the spacer like 6 inches at a time. And that actually, I was surprised that worked really well. I then cut the pipes off. I left a couple, like a 1/2 inch sticking out. And there it goes. Outlaw camera slide in action. Thanks for watching this episode of Outlaw Woodworking. It was fun to make this little camera slide, and hopefully you'll notice improvements in my videos. That's my goal, is for the video experience to be better each time for the people viewing it. And it's always a challenge, but I'm always trying my best to do a better job. And I thought this camera slide actually turned out pretty good. Let me know what you think of the video from it. If you think it's smooth. So far, it seems pretty smooth for me. Oh, I just saw a bump right there. Yeah, I might have a little hot glue back there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, hit the bell, and I will see you next time. Later.